Praise the Lord. This is Dr. C. Dexter Wise III. Oh, give thanks to God for the beginning stuff. There's a lad here which hath 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes. John chapter 6 verse 9. When you get a chance, read and meditate on John chapter 6 verses 1 through 13, and here you'll find the familiar story of how Jesus fed 5,000 hungry men, not counting the women and the children. As you will recall, a great multitude had been following Jesus because they were impressed and blessed by his miraculous healings. However, on this particular day, in this particular place, Jesus perceived that the crowd not only hungered for the word, but they were actually hungry for real, plain food. When the Lord presented the problem to his disciples, they in essence said to him, "What can we do about it? We have only 200 pennies, and there are too many folk to be fed on our budget." Then one of the disciples named Andrew emerged from the crowd and made this profound pronouncement: "There is a lad here which hath 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes." This one line alone is reason to give thanks to the Lord, for it indicated that though the multitude was large and their budget was relatively small, at least they had something to start with. Praise the Lord. They had something to start with. They only had 200 pennies, but they were not penniless. They only had one little boy to offer his resources, but they were not helpless. They only had 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, but they were not lunchless. Often we complain about what we don't have when we overlook the fact that at least we have something to begin with. The man who pulled himself up by his own bootstraps had some bootstraps to begin with. The student who had to work her way through school was already in school and had a job. The family wiped out by a hurricane yet had clothes on their backs and breath in their bodies. Here is the point for you to take some time today and thank God that with all of your challenges and all of your issues, you don't have to deal with them by starting from scratch. Thank God for the blessing of beginning stuff.